the Chicago Bulls have signed forward Alize Johnson to a 2-year deal worth approximately $3.6 million. So let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Stall back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. So if you're a Bulls fan, hit that big red subscribe button down below. Make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms, guys. You don't want to miss out, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so the Bulls signed another player, Alize Johnson. Let's talk about it. Let's analyze the play. All right, so right off the bat, let's talk about, of course, Alize Johnson, the player. Now, a lot of you guys might not know who the heck he even is. A lot of you guys might never have heard of Alize Johnson. It's the NBA nuts like me who know who he is. So let's talk about him real quick here, okay? So he played for the Brooklyn Nets last season. Doesn't have a lot of any NBA experience under his belt. He's only played, a handful of games in his career. I think he played like 18 games last year. And he came off the bench for the Brooklyn Nets. Now, he's 25 years old. He's about 6'7", 6'8", 212 pounds. So not a big guy in terms of stature when you compare, obviously, to the NBA level. And so Alize Johnson, right? Does he have potential? What is his game like? And he is a high energy guy, right? And he showed real promise at the end of last season when he started to get some playing time with the Brooklyn Nets. He even had a game there. I think he put up 23 points, 15 rebounds. He had another game where he put up 21 points, 20 rebounds. So he's a very good rebounder, a very high energy guy. And this is a signing where we add some depth at a position we severely lack. I have been hammering home we need backup power forward, specifically power forward depth, because right now it was Patrick Williams and that was about it. We had just signed Stanley Johnson, but Stanley Johnson's 6'6", right? He's more of a small forward than he's a power forward. We needed some big bodies in the front court. And the guys that I wanted the Bulls to target, the veterans out there, the Paul Millsaps, the LaMarcus Aldridges, they already signed with other teams. Funny enough, they both signed with the Brooklyn Nets. So the Bulls were kind of left to find those straps in the free agency market. And so we signed a guy like Alize Johnson. And I got to tell you, look, it's a solid signing because he's got potential, right? I mentioned he's only 25 years old, and he showed promise, all right? He showed promise, and he can come off the bench and provide that energy. And like I told you in those games, he's shown you in minutes that he gets, he is capable of putting up numbers. Is he a proven veteran like these other guys I mentioned? No, he's not. All right, so that hurts. But at the same time, he's got upside, which those other guys don't have. And so what he's going to provide us is obviously a backup four, which we severely needed, and a guy who's going to bring some spark and energy to the game. So overall, it's a solid signing, 2-year deal worth $3.6 million, not a big investment. And we're talking about now the roster being full. This is the 15th guy on the roster, so our roster is pretty much set at this point, all right? He's going to play in the front court, most likely at the 4. That's where I see him. I think he's too small to play at the center spot, and so the small forward spot doesn't really have the skill set for that. So this is strictly for that power forward spot, which I like because he is going to provide depth at that position. So as far as depth, checks the box there. As far as talent, like I mentioned, he's got potential. He can do some things, and he can provide that energy, and that's what you need for guys off the bench. So now, this Bulls roster is officially set, folks. We just signed Stanley Johnson. We signed Alize Johnson. We also signed Matt Thomas, I believe. I'm not sure what the contract was. He's a good shooter. He also played for the Toronto Raptors. And so now you're kind of seeing this bench shape up, right? So the Bulls bench now, we've got guys like Alex Caruso, Kobe White, Stanley Johnson, Derrick Jones Jr., Alize Johnson. So now we have quality depth off the bench. Do we have a bunch of scores? No. We've got high energy, solid, good IQ guys off the bench. And Alize Johnson, to me, he is a nice flyer to take a chance on. All right, he's a nice flyer to take a chance on. We could have taken up a washed veteran like a Mike Scott who just stands in the corner and shoots threes. But sometimes, on a team like the Bulls, where I'm not ready to say the Bulls are championship contenders, so we can take a chance on young guys instead of just loading up our team with veterans like the Nets or the Lakers. So I'm fine with this signing. Let's see if we get the potential from Alize that we saw with the Brooklyn Nets. But overall, the Bulls roster set. We finally got our backup 4, so I'm happy about that. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree with me or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.